So you have coached 42 NFL seasons at this point. What makes you excited to come to work every day and want to keep coaching even into your 80s?
Well, it's fun for openers, and it's not work. I listen to people talk about the grind. People retire and say that they're tired of the grind. I don't see it as a grind. It's fun, it's enjoyable. I'm with the kind of people that I want to be with, that I want to associate with, the players, the coaches, all the people within the organization. They're my kind of people. And so that's what makes it fun.
Yeah, you're just going to work with your friends every day.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And you've coached in 5 Super Bowls, I believe. Is
Yes.
that accurate? And so, I mean, man, you have a lot of experience in knowing what it takes to get there. So what have you noticed from a team standpoint or a coaching staff standpoint to make it there?
Well, it takes a lot of cooperation. It takes great chemistry. It takes great leadership from the top down. The organizations that I've been with who've gone to the Super Bowl had great ownership, and that goes down to the presidents or the GMs, down to the head coaches, and of course everything starts at the top and will work its way down. And the biggest thing about the teams that I've been with that have gone to the Super Bowl, somewhere within the team, a select group of players can be 1, 2, 3, can be offense or defense, ultimately take ownership of the team. And they're the ones that make it possible for you to win. They have to take ownership. Pittsburgh, of course, we had Joe Green. Of course, at Indianapolis, why, it was Peyton. And so he took ownership of the team, and here Tom Brady. And they had a lot of help, and they led the team. But to lead a team, you got to have a lot of players who want to follow. The players here really galvanized to Tom, and saw what he did and has done to have all the success he had, and so it just kind of culminated in great chemistry and everybody getting together and everybody putting forth the effort. And I was reading a book the other day about a great player at the University of Iowa, where I went to school. Thought I'd throw that in.
Always got to promote the alma mater.
But anyway, a guy by the name of Niall Kennick, and his coach was a guy by the name of Dr. Eddie Anderson, and he was a medical doctor. In fact, he practiced medicine in the morning and then went to work coaching in the afternoon. But anyway, the quote in there that really stuck to me was, he said, "The will to win is great," and everybody has that will to win. But he said the will to prepare to win is greater. And I think that's what you've seen, or what I've seen, in these teams that have gone on to win Super Bowls. Their great will to prepare to win.
And you've gotten to coach Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, and so many other incredibly legendary players, but I know they both in particular have said such nice things about you and incredible things about you as a coach. What does that mean to know that some of the greatest of all time say that they partially have you to thank, and where does that rank in terms of on what you are most proud of when it comes to your time in the NFL?
It's a privilege to coach the NFL, and I've always felt it's a privilege, and it's a privilege to get an opportunity to work with these great athletes and these great players, because nobody really has any idea of the kind of hours and kind of work that they put in to become great. And your job as a coach is to give them an opportunity to be as great as they can be. But if you can fulfill that, why, that makes you happy for them, because one of the thrills to me of coaching is watching the people that you coach have success, both on the football field and after football on into life, and see it be successful be good family men, be good fathers and husbands, and just have a great career.
And for you, that job, I know that mission probably has been the same since day one stepping in the league, but the way of going about it, I imagine, has changed a lot. How have you seen the league at large change in your 42 years, and then coaching in particular? What really stands out to you about that?
Well, everything has gotten bigger. Coaching staffs have gotten bigger. When I got into the league with Pittsburgh, we had 6 assistant coaches and a head coach. Everything has gotten bigger. Of course, the money has gotten bigger. 1977 is when I got into professional football. And I'd coached at the University of Minnesota, and I coached Tony Dungy. And I'd recruited Tony to go to the University of Minnesota. Then when I went to Pittsburgh, he'd finished up his senior year, so they sent me back to sign him as a free agent. Well, I signed him as a free agent, and we gave him a $5,000 bonus, and we gave him a 3-year contract, $15,000, $17,500, and $20,000.
Oh my God.
That was commonplace, and back in those days, most of your players had off-season jobs to make ends meet. So that has gotten obviously bigger, the salaries, the number of players, and then obviously the social media has gotten enormous.
Yeah.
And so that's big, and it's all good. It's good. You know, the league has been good to a lot of people, and the league has been very, very good to me. I've lived a dream. When I was 21 years old, I'm 83, so I've coached 62 years. So the game's been good to me. The game has been good to a lot of people, not just the players. I'm talking about in the media world. It's opened up so many avenues for so many people, and that's a good thing. And you like to see people be involved.
And what is it that you have wanted to bring to this team and this staff in particular that maybe when Bruce Arians was talking about bringing you on, what did he want you to bring, and how are you a unique presence on a staff when you do have that much coaching experience?
Bruce has been very, very good to me, and Bruce treats his coaching staff very, very well. It's fun to work for Bruce. That makes it enjoyable. I'm just glad to be part of it. You know, once you get over 70, there's not a lot of people want older people around. So I'm happy, I'm very, very thankful, and I'm very indebted to Bruce. And any way I can contribute and do anything, that's what I want to do. Bill Polian at Indianapolis, he was the GM, gave me what I consider my finest compliment ever when he said I was his R&R coach. And R&R coach means results, not recognition. Leave the recognition for the players. They're the ones that deserve it. They're the ones that work for it. They're the ones that put themselves out there in that field every Sunday. So give all the recognition to the players. That's where it belongs.
What is it like for you to try to relate to players who are maybe 60 years younger than you?
Well, I can relate. There's no problem with that. I tell people I'm 83. I feel like I'm 53 and I act like I'm 33. So I can relate.
Yeah, that's pretty great. What do you think makes the act like 33? What are the ways that you feel like you act 33?
Well, you got to keep young. You got to be fun. You got to joke around. You got to have a good time. You got to enjoy life. You got to have a good attitude and be happy and hey, every day is a new day. You play games, and win or lose, the sun's going to come up the next day, and when you play a game, whatever happens, you got to put it to bed when you go to bed Sunday night. And the process of preparing for the games, to me, is as much fun, really, as the games. And the games are tremendous.
That's so true. And so I know Bruce Arians has called you an encyclopedia of football. Is there a story or two that people seem to really love hearing?
Someday I'm going to write a book and put them on a book, but I got a lot of sayings on the football field. So Peyton, when we were in Indianapolis, had a T-shirt. I don't know if you saw the T-shirt. Saturday Night with Tom Moore, live from Terre Haute. And they duplicated it here. It's a bunch of my sayings. Some you can say publicly, some that you probably shouldn't say. But they're good. They're funny. If you get a copy of the T-shirt, you'll see.
We'll see. We might have to get our hands on that. What's one or two that we can say on here that are from that?
Well, the one that I always tell players, you keep doing that, you're going to get carried out boots first. Well, they don't know boots first. They never heard of boots first. Well, in the old Western movies, when they went into the saloons and shot some guy, they always drug him out. Boots first. So that's what it means. Or you're going to get that guy hurt.
That's amazing. I love that. So what do you think your favorite thing about coaching, what would it be after all this time?
Winning. Winning is the greatest. Winning the Super Bowl is the greatest. But one of the great experiences, and you were probably there, was 2 years ago in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Now, everybody knows Green Bay, Wisconsin. That's where football started. That's the home of football. And to be in that bus in a gray, cloudy, snowy day, going to Lambeau Field to play for the NFC Championship, that's fun. That's what makes me tick. And then when you do it and you win it, and it's really fun. So that's what makes me tick.